on there that just do nothing but talk shit. So I got a shit ton to talk about tonight, though. And like always, I'm probably going to run over. There we go. Oh, man, I don't get the other guys in here. I'm going to have a guest coming on here in a minute, too. That has been on here before. And talk about a lot of his stuff that's coming out. Oh, shit, yeah. Share the groups. I'd love to share the groups. But I don't know if it's going to let me, though. Look, I got one person up here now. Oh, there we go. Boom, 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 boom. Setting everything up, guys. See, this is what I talk about as I do this. When you guys are doing these live videos and you guys are taking BP and you're doing these live videos, when you push live, it's hard to go back and do it later on. But when you push live on these live videos, it actually says, do you want to share it to a group? Guys, get on as many softball groups as you can. And what's going to happen is when you share it to a group, let's say you're out taking BP somewhere, and you share it to these groups, a lot of these groups aren't friends with you. You know, so whenever they have people that are on that group that see this, they'll actually watch it. And it brings your viewership up and your Alamo Network. Nope. I got a lot of groups on here that say when, you know, that has a lot to do with the Alamo. I actually have a group that I started that is descendants from the Alamo that I actually post on every once in a while and talk about Alamo descendants. That's mine. And I can't push them because they get mad when they see me on there, not knowing who I am, and they get on there and they start talking shit. You know, I don't know what's wrong with people nowadays. Everybody talks shit on the internet. You know, and that what I like about it is they talk shit, but when you're face to face, they're your best friend. You know, I watch you all the time. You're the best. I've had that happen to me in Florida one year. Years ago, though. 10 years ago. The guy was an asshole to me. And then I see him at a softball tournament, and he's all nice and shit. Yeah, I like what you're doing, so keep it up. Yeah, you piece of shit. Shit that happened about, 10 years ago, I think it was. And when you guys start share to all of, which I'm doing right now, and I know it takes a little bit of time, especially when you get everything going. Like I've got softball swap, Juneau, athletics, USSSA, senior softball, Arizona softball, swing hard softball, Corpus Christi softball, Kansas City softball. Guys, y'all need to join all of these groups. I bet we have a lot of people on here tonight. And what will happen to a lot of these back companies is they'll start these groups to El Paso, Mesquite, Tri-City, Monster Athletics, NorCal. See, all these people, I can't hold my hand. I can't hold my arm up that like that. A lot of these Huntsman Games has a group. There it is. I'm almost done. San Antonio, USSSA. A couple of San Antonio teams, they all have groups, guys. What you do is you share it to them. You share it to all these groups, and all of a sudden it gets the word out. And I'm all about getting the word out to a lot of people out there. Spread the word. We're starting to do, women's ball, and I want to spread the word on a lot of misinformation. I think a lot of misinformation out there is about women's ball and how you got to change the way a lot of you women out there think. I was talking to Stacy today, and she has a girlfriend that talking about how she hit the new Dudley bat. Now, the new Dudley bat was a bat that, and she said it was the Legend from last year, and I bet it was a retro. And I would never put that retro, and if you look at it, it's in that high bat speed. I would never put that retro bat into a woman's hands, a senior softball player's hands. Marcus, stay tuned, Marcus. I'm gonna talk about you here in a minute. So stay tuned. So I would never put that retro into a woman's hands. The reason is because when you go down in weight in that bat, what you're going to get is that's got a harder barrel, and you're not going to be able to compress that barrel. I would stick them into something else, like the girls got through swinging that Onyx bat the other day, and they were killing it with that Onyx bat and hitting the ball really good. With that Onyx bat, it's that 2-piece. It's got an orange and blue handle on it. And I would definitely stick it in their hands. I would stick it in their hands because it's got a softer barrel. You know, it's the way the weight distribution in that bat too is good for the ladies. It's got an end load to it, you know, a half ounce, maybe a little bit more than a half ounce end load to it. So the ladies are going to compress that wall. So, but there's a lot of before I get started, I'll talk about this too. This is just our opinion. I talked to the guys, you know, matter of fact, Clem just got on here too. Talked to Clem the other day about Marcus, on what's happening about Marcus the chef. You know, what's up, Matt? You're talking about Marcus the chef. He does bat reviews, and he went viral. I bet his viewership's blowing up because somebody got a clip of him hitting, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I actually got a list of stuff I got to talk about. And me and Clem. But this is basically, I'm the guy who talks, right? I'm the guy who says shit. And at the end, but I run a lot of stuff through my guys. They give me their opinion, and I gather all this information, and I take it and I spew it out to you guys. Now I'm going to go against the grain in this little episode. I'm going to go against the grain from a few people and just tell you guys my opinion on some things out there when it comes to bat weights. I'm going to talk to you guys about the way I train. You know, I don't train heavy because I think if you train heavy, you slow your bat speed down. Now let me finish, you know, what I'm talking about. I think it ties you up too much. What I do, if you guys know me, I actually, it's coming out this week, Richard. What I believe in is explosive movements. It's hard to do an explosive movement when you're swinging something heavy or you are pushing something heavy. So I'm all about white muscle fiber, exploding, getting that explosive movement, because softball is an explosive movement. So I'm more in tune to lowering your weight and swinging it as fast as you can. You can't do that when you're either swinging something that's heavy or you actually are pushing something that's heavy. It actually trains your body to push things or swing things slow. So I'm a firm believer in training during the off season. It's not the off season now, but taking a bat and a bat that you cracked. This one's not cracked, but a bat you cracked and pull that end cap out and just make it hollow. And in the off season, train with this bat, swinging it as fast as you can. I've been doing it for years. Okay, it actually helps me maintain the bat speed, keep it up there, because I am going to be 64 in about another month. I'll be 65 next year. So it actually helps me and getting that white muscle fiber to actually fire off. I'll talk about a little bit of that in a minute too. Get into some more educational things now, and basically that's what we do. I'm going to try to divide everything up in like 15 minutes. The bat part will be at the end for 15 minutes. Guys, YouTube, Facebook, you guys on YouTube, get on Facebook, join there. Facebook, get on YouTube. I know a lot of you guys, you know, depending on, I don't know, I'm not going to force you to do it because a lot of you guys think that you don't want to get on social media too much. I have a lot of friends that will not touch Facebook. They won't touch any kind of social media site. And I keep on telling them, I said, well, yeah, I post a lot of things about my kids. I post a lot of things about me guiding or hunting on there. And I do a lot of softball. The majority of them are softball. I do a lot of, like, all of my stuff that I do on YouTube go to Facebook for softball. I'm on Instagram. I ain't got 2,000 followers on Instagram. I have a website out there that is going to change, but it's still out there. Don't worry about it being. We actually, what's up, Charlie? I'll talk about that purple at the end. Problem with that purple, and I kind of want to talk about it now because I'll forget it later on, because I am forgetting things lately, is that what happened is we got the purple 26 ounce, started hitting it. One of my guys fell in love with it, Chino, and took it. And because what happened before on a Facebook Live was his bat that he let Bubba borrow got cracked. So he just took that bat because he fell in love with it. It looks good for that purple bat with Onyx right now. It looks very good. I like what Carlos did with that bat, and I don't want to get too far into it because I do want to talk about it at the end here. I like what Carlos has done because it's a totally different sound. Clem will tell you this. He was hitting us the other day. It's a totally different sound because we swung the blue one and the royal blue one, and we swung that purple one. Two totally different bats. One of them has a little bit softer burrow in it, though. I like that a lot of these guys that are producing bats right now aren't repainting them and putting them out there. And I'm going to have somebody come in, and I'm going to talk to him a little bit about this in a minute, why he's putting out a lot of bats. His company's putting out a lot of bats, but they're not the same bat, and they're doing some kind of, I call it tuning, and how they do that tuning part. But guys, I have discount codes too. You can actually find them on the top. You can find them discount codes on a lot of my page right here. On my website, you'll find it on the front. I got discount codes from a lot of the top tier bat companies that are out there. Buy, sell, and trade, guys. If you want to join that buy, sell, and trade that I have, Stacy runs it. Stacy Carr and Patty Albright are actually administrators to that. They actually watch over it for me. I try to get onto it as much as I can and try to oversee a lot of the stuff that's going on there, and basically to keep the trash out of it, to keep the scammers out of it, to keep the assholes out of it, and keep it ran really good. So everybody can go on there, trade a bat, buy a bat, and don't have to worry about getting scammed. Guys, and this is how bad it's gotten. I sold a bat on eBay. I turned around and I sent them the wrong bat. And I realized what I did was, so I sent them the right bat the next day, and I asked them for the other bat back. Guys, to this day, I have not got the other bat back. I have not released the guy's name, but I've threatened him going, all right, this is what's going to happen. You're going to send me my bat back, and he kept it. And he's not giving me an explanation on why he kept it. And I told him, I said, I'm going to make you a star if you don't. And it's been almost a month, guys, that he hadn't sent me a bat back. So I just got in contact with him the other day, and he said he was going to send it out. So I haven't got it back yet. That was about a week ago. So I told him, you don't understand, man. This is the one thing that I hate, when you get scammed. And it was actually a mistake on my part that I sent him the bat. And then I asked him for the bat back. And this is all done on eBay. So they're all out there everywhere. And basically on that buy, sell, or trade, that's what it's going to be for, is basically the, sell bats, a little bit of information. You guys want information? I do have another group out there at Senior Softball Bat Reviews. You guys can get on that. And but they're going to be separate. You can't post bats for sale on Senior Softball Bat Reviews, or you can talk about bats on that buy, sell, or trade, because there's a lot of people on there that know about bats. If you are a bat rep, I don't give a shit if you put on Senior Softball Bat, if you put it on the buy, sell, or trade, right? You're not going to sell bats on that Senior Softball Bat Reviews. If you're a rep, don't try. You can talk about your product over there, but don't try to sell anything over there, because you'll be kicked off. You'll get banned from it. But if you're on buy, sell, or trade, you can get on that buy, sell, and trade and sell whatever you want to. I don't care if you get up there and talk about you have the best bat in the world. I really don't, because that's freedom of speech. That's your opinion. I don't care. Just like I'm doing right now. It's what I'm talking about is it's the way I think, and I think different than a lot of people out there. Things should be ran. Things should be taught or things should be, applied when picking weight distribution in a bat, while picking your bat speed compared to barrel flex, And it's, guys, it's just my opinion. There's a lot of other people out there that are posting videos right now that have their opinion. I don't want to call them out and tell them they're wrong. I'll just put a video up about it and tell my opinion on why I think that's not right. Because I was talking to Stacy about it today and about an hour ago, and I was talking to her about it. And I said, do I wait and just let them learn, because the person that's talking about this, how to train or how to do things, and do I just, because it's going to take a year for them to realize that, no, I didn't really need to do that, or I didn't really need to go with that size of bat. I should have stayed with, did something different, with a lighter bat, because softer barrel, because I get more barrel flex. So, and she goes, you need to let people know now, especially when it comes to the women department, because you don't want them wasting a year, because we are seniors, and not knowing, and maybe they would take your information and go, shit, that's working for me. So that's basically what we're here to do. And I'll put out a video on it. I won't get on the social media and start talking to her about, I think you're wrong. I'm going to give you my explanation, and I'm going to try to prove myself or it's right. I can't read the rest of it. The 2024 Suncoast Megaload, that's a softer barrel bat. Megaload is a 2-piece. I thought Megaload was a 1-piece. Do they have a 2-piece out now, I guess? I don't know. I'll talk to Patty. Or maybe she'll chime in here in a minute and explain that one to me. But here's the deal, guys. You get on those, and the ones that I join, I got to do the same thing. And I don't sit there and skip by them. You got to answer the questions, because they don't want an AI or a robot getting on there and start trying to get into their shit, right? So just on mine, just answer the questions. Just, that's all you have to do, and you will get accepted. If you don't answer the questions, you're going to get banned. You're not just going to get denied. You're going to get banned. You're going to get kicked off, because what happens with that is, if they just kick you off, you're going to come back later on again if they think it's an AI and ask the same question. So you actually get banned. That's why we ask you guys to answer the questions when it comes to that. Discount codes everywhere. Answer the questions. I'm done with this top part. And I got to mark this off because I'll keep repeating myself when it goes over it. Talk about shaving bats for a few minutes here, because I do not want that topic to go down. I wish that, I'm going to kind of repeat myself every week when I talk about this shit, but what I want to see is, I want every organization out there, because there's not going to be just one organization that's running senior softball. I think there will be more. I think there will be more organizations pop up, especially after these ones that are coming up right now, not charging, Matt Barnes, not charging pretty good prizes, and not charging a lot of money, taking care of the people who are actually catering to the players. And I think once that takes off, that a lot of different stuff is gonna happen with senior softball. There might be a few more organizations in the next couple of 3 years pop up. But the one thing I do want, one thing I will say, I should not be reading shit. The one thing I will say this too, if one organization bans somebody or catches somebody, I think all through the board, they just need to, put out a bulletin on every one of them is going to ban that same person, because what's going to happen is, you got one guy that don't give a shit and he gets banned in one, he'll go to the other organization and just play in that league or that play in those tournaments, and really don't have to worry about not playing with that other organization anymore, because he'll go to a different type of part of the country and fly there. What we get with a lot of guys that have been banned, this is what we get on. You guys don't really know this, is, it's like, okay, if somebody gets popped and they get banned for a year, and I'm just going to use this as an example, they shut down everything on social media and they'll try to go silent. and then they don't say anything, hoping that it will just go away, or just have that little thing going, look, squirrel, squirrel. No, don't look at me that I got caught. Just look over here. Look what's happening over here with this bat company. That's how this shit works, you know. They go silent for a while, then all of a sudden later on, they start introducing themselves back into it again. And a lot of people have that short-term memory loss. We're going, I don't, because I'm thinking like, well, didn't that guy get popped last year? And here he is again, starting to put videos out of himself, you know, out of sight, out of mind. Hell, you know, Hollywood does that too. Social media people, you know, on the, you know, everywhere, you know, politicians do it when they get popped doing something they shouldn't be doing. So they do it too. So that's the way it actually works everywhere, including senior softball. Like I said the other day about doing a reality TV show with senior softball. It's gotten where it would blow up. It would blow up. And I was talking about this too. Not only would it have the guys that I talked about, JBI, Leroy, that would be that one West Coast group, because you can't do a reality TV show without JBI in there. He's got to have a sidekick in there, Leroy, help him out too. And those little group of guys. And then you'd have, you know, my group of guys, which would be with the ladies too, and have that going on. Like I was telling Stacy the other day, you know, getting the ladies involved was the best thing that I actually could do, you know, because it brings another set of eyes, you know, that are different than a lot of men out there to look at bats and make a decision on. They shouldn't be swinging the guy's bat. They shouldn't be swinging the husband's bat. They shouldn't be swinging the boyfriend's bat. So it would be awesome. I think it would take off, and I think it would be huge. Where should I go with this now? I will be 64 next year. I will be 65. I will be 64 next month. Excuse me. I will be 65 next year. I'm going to play 65s. I just don't know with who yet. I'm going to start training this year. I have a lot of people don't know, I have an eye problem in my left eye now. So I'm going to try to get that fixed. I think it's a little bit of cataracts, and I do have a big floater in there in my left eye. So it's hard for me to see when the sun's out. Sun's not out, it's not bad, but I get a floater in there. It's going back and forth. So I know what it is. It's going to probably take surgery to get rid of it, and then I'll be back next year. I'm still going to be hitting. I'm still going to probably play 60s this year. I don't know if I'm going to play 55s. I haven't told Chino yet, but I guess he's getting us right here, right from the horse's mouth. I would probably go and help those guys coach with that 55 team, but I don't think I'll step on the field with the 55s. It's just way too fast paced for me. I've come to realize that I'm not that guy at 55 anymore. I'm that guy at 65. So I need to stay within my limitations, and I think that after playing with them, you know, a few times, I think I'm gonna probably just help coach Chino whenever I can, and helping them out, and probably play some 60s to finish out the end of the year with who I don't know, and then 65s next year. I will go to 65s and not play 60s. I will just stay with 65s next year with who I don't know yet. Problem with Texas, we don't have a lot of 65-year-old AAA major teams here. I would start off there and then move up if I had to play that next year. But that's what I'm looking for next year. I'm working out. I lost 25 pounds. I'm hitting the weights a little harder than I have been in the last few years to get ready for that 65s for next year. And I want to come back and be a pitcher too. So that's another thing too. I'm going to train for that, because I've been a pitcher for 35 years, guys, and I started pitching in senior ball. So I'm going to probably come back and do that in 65s next year. Muscle wasting disease. Kind of want to talk about that a little bit. It has been brought up, and explain to you guys what that is and what you should do. When men lose testosterone, the one thing that they actually start to do is they start to lose muscle tone. They start to lose muscle. Guys, there's nothing you can take or nothing you can get that back unless you get your hormones checked. And another thing too, guys, don't listen to me. Go to a doctor, go to your healthcare provider, do a lot of blood work and let them know what you want to check. You want to check your testosterone levels, your IGF-1 levels, which has a lot to do with your human growth hormone. And then they would actually, if those your IGF levels come back as pretty low, then they would start doing a stim test. They actually inject you with a stimulation, a drug. You know, a lot of times it's L-arginine to actually increase growth hormone in your pituitary gland. And then they check your blood for 5 hours every 30 minutes to see if your pituitary gland is pulsing growth. So if it's not, then you go to the next thing where they're going to start going through the paperwork of getting you a prescription of HGH, human growth hormone. So that's the thing too, is you need to check, because as we get older, we lose. And I'm not talking, guys, I'm talking about the majority of seniors out there lose this. If you don't, then you're a freak. And a lot of people out there are not freaks. Your body changes. You just don't feel right anymore. You want to get your quality of life back. Now, so what happens is you start losing strength. You start not wanting to have the desire to get out and do anything anymore. You ladies out there, the same thing. Menopause is probably one of the worst things as a woman that you can go through. Your estrogen levels are out of whack. Your testosterone levels are out of whack. Because ladies do have testosterone. I think I wrote that number down somewhere in here and give you guys a reference on what you should go by. Men out there, when you go to your doc, your testosterone levels should be at 360 to 1100. There's no way in hell you're going to be over 500 if you're 60, 65 years old. If you are, you're a freak. So when you walk and you're symptomatic at 400, 360, your numbers on testosterone, not free testosterone, should be 360 to 1100. Ladies, your testosterone, and you need testosterone, ladies, not as much as men, but you need testosterone. So your testosterone level should be at 15 to 70. If you're lower than that, then you need to go and talk to your healthcare provider about getting on testosterone. There's nothing wrong with it. You ladies need it too. And that's how come when I talk about estrogen blockers for men, we need testosterone. I mean, we need estrogen. We gotta have estrogen. You cannot take an estrogen blocker and get rid of all of it. So that's where muscle wasting disease comes from, especially in men and women. My suggestion to you is get it checked. Find out why you're losing strength. Find out why you're losing muscle and combat it, right? Do things with the help of your physician to actually make you right again. Get your quality of life back. If I see who I'm going to bring on, I'm going to bring him on. So if you say you're watching, Jeff, I'll bring you on because I can click on you. So my suggestion to a lot of the ladies out there is get your blood work done. You know, I know a few ladies are on the pellet. I know a few ladies are actually taking testosterone. I know a few ladies are on the cream. So definitely, ladies have it, men especially, you know, and get your quality of life back. Richard, quit it. Richard Clem talking to Johnny Baby. I talked about that. I'm talking about, I need to keep watching up here to see who's going off. Someone was talking about this the other day, and is on another podcast, was about proof. And I agree with what they were talking about when it comes to proof. You got to prove who you are before you can get up and talk on a platform. There was so many times before I started back up, when I was retired, I started back up playing, I was looking at weightlifting on YouTube, and a lot of the guys that were talking, a few of the guys were talking were little guys. So whenever I would see the little guys, I was like, I'm not going to listen to this guy because, for one, he's not big. So how's he going to tell me about putting on muscle size? What kind of supplement I should be taking? And then, so somebody was talking the other day about proof of where you've been. You know, we have a guy that puts out a podcast every week that shows us proof of where he's been, you know, too. So it kind of give and take when it comes to that stuff. But the one thing I want to do is when I do this YouTube channel is I do have a lot of proof on there. I videotape every one of my games that are out there, so you can go back and look at for the last 14 years of games that I've played. So I do agree. Let me talk about somebody here in a minute. And it because I got to him right now, and I and I kind of want to, and I'll bring on. I might have to cut him off, but I'll bring on who I want to come on tonight, and kind of you guys on YouTube can listen to him talking. Kristen, get your boy to come on here. Chef, I said something the other day, and I kind of said it in joking, but I was kind of being honest about it, but I was kind of joking with you. It's nice to know you. Whenever you got your own bat line, I kind of said it was nice to know you, but now I say it even more. It's nice knowing you. I'm glad that you can put out quality bat reviews, but what has happened to you in the last see, I can't believe I'm gonna stop that right there. Jeff, can you ask to join? I'm pushing buttons here and I ain't getting you. Look, it has everybody on there except for you. Are these all the... See if that got you. I'll send your invite, and I actually sent an invite. And it says you're adding. So I'll keep talking until you come on. It says it's adding. But talk about the chef. And I still want to stick by what I got to say about you is that it's been nice knowing you. But your bat review, I think you've hit a different tier. I think you started off great. I think you're still great. I don't want to take anything out of context here, but I think you started off great. I think that I think that what has happened to you in the last couple of days is great for what you're doing. And it says no answer from video guests. And didn't we go through this last time? And what has happened, and I hope you guys can hear me, is, and I'm kind of trying to scroll through here and look for him. What has happened with the shaft is that he's got a bat that he's have out from Onyx, and I've always told people that have been with me, a few of them, that if you get a bat deal, I don't know if I can have them, but that chef's deal is not one of his guys, so that's totally different. Like if one of my guys got a bat deal, I don't know if they can not show bias toward a bat when they're doing a review. There ought to be little subtle comments, and I've experienced this last year before. Not last year before. That I don't know if he can. I hope he can, because I think he's actually great for senior softball. Hell, he's great for U-Trip softball. But what has happened to Chef, if you guys have not seen it, is he's actually went viral, and he's actually. This is what YouTubers dream of. Is what happened to him. Is I push approve, and it says ask you to come on, invite sent. So all you got to do is approve, Jeff, and then I'll bring you on. But I'll keep talking until we get it going. We'll get it in here in a minute because this same thing happened last time. Or what you can do is get off and get back on again, and I can bring you on by clicking on, because when your name comes up like you're watching, it actually is, do you want to invite them on? That's another way we can do it too, Jeff. But what has happened to the Shaft Marcus here lately, what has happened lately is he went viral. There's this podcast out there that's talking about him specifically, and he's hitting P-rods. He's hitting line drives past third base and hitting the ball like just lasers, like a golf shot. You know, those shots that everybody wants to hit, them shots that go down. And he actually went viral and then comes down. And I think how he handled this was he engaged with them. He actually sent out an invite. So one guy says, I'd stand at third at that. And he sent out an invite to the people like, okay, come on down. You know, we'll videotape it, put it on. You can stand at third when I'm hitting it there. The way he did this was awesome. I think he worked it out really good, where he was actually engaging with them in fun and told him, okay, come on down. Any time. And the reason I said, because watch what's going to happen. He's going to smoke by me and subscribers. He's going to smoke by Jesse with BP Hero, because he's the next guy in line. Kim Babagard's after that. He's going to smoke by him. You know, he's going to smoke by all these. He might get up there where they go, the other guys that do all them U-trip bats. He'll get up there, but at least he's getting noticed, and I think that's great for him. Good for him. You know, but once he got a bat named after him, I love the guy. I really do. I like what he's doing for senior ball and what he's doing for U-trip ball. And I think he does a little bit of ASA out there too. But what he has done is he's got a bat deal now. So good for him. It's very hard. I'm sure he can probably pull it off, but it's very hard to not be biased. You know, that's how come when I first started doing this 15 years ago, I said I can't be friends with any of these guys. And to this day, I'm not. 14 years later, is I can't be friends with all these guys that have these bats. You know, I talk to them, yes, and I'm cordial with them. I talk to them about business. But, yeah, remember we had to go through, did we have to go through somewhere else to get on? I'm getting this thing here too. I'm going to push it on while I'm talking. So what had happened is I can't be like all these, you know, guys that have names on bats. I can't be friends with them because I don't want to be friends with them, because I don't want to be biased toward. I don't want to be biased. It says it's adding Jeff now. I don't want to be biased toward anybody out there where, and I know I won't. Now, Trey Roberts, why would I bring you on? Are you repping now, Trey? You're going to get cut. So, and it would be hard. I know he can probably do it. If anybody can do it, he can probably do it, but it's just going to be hard for him because he does have a bat out there, guys. And then he went, and after the bat, he went viral. And that's basically what a lot of YouTubers want to do. They want that one video to drop, and where they're going to get a lot of friend requests, subscribers to that channel. Anytime you get subscribers, you start getting, I want to get closer here because I do want to bring them on. Anytime you start getting more subscribers, you starting to get more money. And another thing too, guys, y'all guys act like it's we're making all this money. I've even been approached at, you know, I've even been approached at softball games, and the first thing, how much money do you make doing this? And I'm like, holy shit, you know, I don't make enough, for one. We actually we try what we, a lot of this money, I would say, and it says Jeff, what I would I'm looking for Lisa here and I can't find her. See, I don't see you, Lisa. It's got Adam on there. See, I need to quit pushing all these buttons here. Now, what do you hear? Now you're on again. All right. Adam, I was just talking about until I see somebody going to join, I can bring them on. On the bottom, when you get this is twirling. If you guys, like if Lisa or Jeff get on here, like Bernie just got on it, it says, okay, I can hear you now, Bernie. It'll say on the bottom of it if I can bring them on. But Adam, we're talking about the Shaft has got a bat deal going on right now. Basically, what has happened to his channel, what's going to happen here going forward is he's going to actually go viral because of all this back and forth banter with this podcast guys that are out there talking about what softball has gotten to. And this guy actually says he plays league ball, but he's not like those freaks out there that play it the way. And they're talking about the Shaft and Shaft's hitting P-rods going on right now. But that's actually going back and forth between those guys. I'm going to kind of ramble here in a minute and see. You think that's funny, Patty? Patty, can you hear me and everything going good? Okay. Why? Because I have an iPhone. What I find out, and here, listen to this tip. When I'm talking about the older guys should be swinging soft barrel bats. When I talk about different kind of bat speeds match up against different kind of swinging people with bat speed, different kind of barrel flex. When it comes to that, I catch right. I catch when I'm playing 60s and playing with a lot of when I'm playing. That sucks, man, because I really wanted to talk to you tonight. See, why does it always pick the person that I tell Lisa to get off and get back on again? See if I can't bring her. So when I'm grabbing bats and I'm actually grabbing the barrel of them and I'll kind of flip them over there. But what I found out when I was playing 60s last year and the beginning of this year is a lot of those bats are cracked. Now there's a reason why you have lower bat speed guys that are the older age that are actually have that low bat speed will swing crack bats because there's no way they're still getting the barrel response. You guys that have that upper bat speed know that whenever you get a bat that's going to crack or it's cracked, it actually implodes on you because your bat speed's too high. Send me a send me an invite, Leslie, and I'll see if I can't get you on. And then, so what they're doing is, guys, even though they see, it's not coming up on my side though. What they're doing is they like that. See, I get Christian all day long in here. He's not the one I want to talk to because he's somewhere else. Trey Roberts. Trey, what are you doing here, man? So what I get is they like that softer barrel bat, right? Because they're still getting that, they're not imploding it because their bat speed's 50, 60, maybe 70, 65, not necessarily 70. And I got different shit coming up here too. Oh, that's somebody. Try something different here. I pushed approve. Hey Jeff, are you getting an invite from me? Just for the record. Unable to add guests. You can't join your broadcast at this time. That's what it says. So, what a lot of these seniors do is they still swing crack bats because they're not going to implode it. It's going to get a great trampoline effect off it because their bat speed's in their 50s, 50 miles per hour. So they'll keep swinging it because they're not imploding it. They're actually getting a great trampoline effect, which goes along with what we've been talking about for years is those lower bat speed guys. What's up, Jay? So I see that with a lot of the cracked bats that are out there, a lot of bats that have seams in it. A lot of seniors out there love those seams. A lot of you guys talk about seams on a straight seams. That what is it? It's going to be, what's going to happen to it? Well, it actually means that barrel is great and that barrel is flexing. So what's going to happen when they put that carbon together and right when it meets, that you get a seam right there because that barrel's flexing so much, you'll get it's not a crack. So it's not a crack, it's just a seam. So when they're doing inspections on bats, they'll actually throw that shit out. So, and I've talked about this in a video in the past about, I think that's a disservice to a lot of seniors out there because they're waiting to get that seam in that bat. And then when you have somebody inspecting the bat that doesn't know anything about it, so they kind of will chunk it out. If I see something, I got to get close here because if I have something for them to join, I'm sure I'll be on it for another 30 minutes, guys. So maybe we can work it out. I want to keep trying over here to get you guys on here because I know a lot of people want to come hear about what you got going on. Keep saying unable. You guys probably blocked me, dude. It says unable. Do me a favor, get off. Both of y'all, get off. And then undo your phone, like clear your history on your phone and get back on and watch. Say you're watching. Yeah, they probably did block me. It's all just a ploy. They just wanted to have me mention their name tonight on the podcast. They didn't want to get up here and talk. I'm going to talk about a couple of things, and then I kind of talked about muscle wasting disease and hormones. If you guys think you're losing muscle tone with this muscle wasting disease that you actually get as you get older, and everybody gets it after they if I can get you, I can't pick you up. It would definitely I'm looking for Leslie. I would definitely Oh, that's different right there. How about now? I think Patty's right. I think this is a look. Is it on now? Good. You know what? It doesn't say, okay, you know what it doesn't do? It doesn't say that because you have a little sound off screen, you have a little microphone, it says it's off. It doesn't do that. I got to turn it off and then turn it back on again and then I don't know. But every time I go to invite somebody, it turns my sound off. And then I got to redo it to go on again without losing everybody. So I'm going to see if I can't get through this. If I did send Leslie an invite and see what happens. Okay. But basically just get a lot of your levels checked when it comes to, because you do need testosterone. And I'm not talking about juicing, guys. I'm not talking about bringing my levels on my testosterone right now, 750. And that's what my doc will say, when you can go as high as 850. No, I feel pretty good at 750. There's guys out there like 900. There's guys out there like 500. So I would recommend above 500 because I want my testosterone to be what it was when I was at 25 years old. And that's basically what it is right now. At the ladies department, when it comes to the ladies, you want your testosterone at that higher, close to 70. You're not going to get any side effect if you keep your levels with you ladies in between that 15 to 70. You're not going to get any side effects. The side effects is when you're really getting into it really bad, and basically what you want to do is get your quality of life back. Let me talk about something real fast, and again, this is just my opinion about heavy bats for ladies. I think a lot of you ladies out there need to stay away from heavy bats. The reason is because your consistency will go down. Yes, it does create more distance, right? If you can generate the bat speed, but there's a formula when it comes to doing that. So it's basically a formula. I'm getting a request here. I'm going to say yes. Okay, it says it's adding. So it's adding, Jeff. So when you're swinging it says, I don't know. So whenever you're swinging a heavy bat, guys, and like I said, I actually have a video out there that tells everybody, ladies and men, what size bat they should be swinging. It's pretty simple. You got 3 different bats, all the same bat, and you've got a 25, 26, 27. You start swinging a 25, you get you a number out there. You take, swing it 5 times. 5 goes into that number, and then you come out with a number. So you're going up to 26. You need to swing that 26 as fast as you're swinging a 25. If you do, then go up to a 27. If you drop 5 miles per hour, I say 4. But if you drop 5 miles per hour, stay with the lower number. If you go down to 6 miles per hour, you stay with the lower number. If you still, it says no answer, If you do, if you do not exceed that 5 miles per hour, you go with the higher number. That's the formula, guys. There's no way around it. What's going to happen is a lot of the seniors, guys, listen to this. A lot of the seniors out there, women and men, have muscle wasting disease because their hormones levels aren't in check. So what happens when you have hormone levels that aren't in check? You got muscle wasting disease. And guys, it's actually, it says disease, but it just happens to a lot of seniors out there because they look frail. They start losing muscle tone as you get older. But what happens is you have no muscle to push a heavy bat. So your bat speed is going to go down, and you want to, you're not going to get your consistency, although you will hit the ball far if you hit it. So you need to get that. You're going to go, you're going to hit the fence one time out of 10. It's not a home run hitting contest where see if you can hit the ball the furthest, not how many you can hit. If you're hitting the ball the furthest, that's different, because you do want to hit that one ball that's going further than the other, and it will happen. But are you going to carry 800-900 batting average? And I'm not saying absolutes. I'm just saying you will not carry a high average, because it's hard to swing a heavy bat with consistency. And guys, please don't throw out there, you used to swing a 35-ounce bat 50, 60 years ago. They were weighted totally different. They're not weighted the way the bats are weighted now. So please don't throw that at me. Well, I carried a 900 batting average, swing a 35-ounce bat in 1918. It's different. It's different right now than it was back then. The bats weight distribution and those bats were different. And you can't say that. There was more balanced bat from a long time ago. So guys, before you jump over to that, heavier bat deal, because you have the ladies especially, your batting average go down. You'll think you're hitting the ball harder, because when you do hit it, it actually does come off the bat pretty good, especially you're compressing that wall. You need to start picking bats with the ladies' part. You need to start picking bats on softness of the barrel. Softer the barrel, better points you're going to get on it. Your consistency is going to go up. Your batting average is going to go up, and you're burning, your line drives, your gaps are going to go up. So yes, definitely. I'm going to get off that. That was a joke, Clem. I'm joking. Train. If you swing something heavy, what you're doing is you're training your body to slow your swing. I'm still pushing invite. And it says it's adding. It's got that little thing in the middle. It says it's adding you. And I don't know if it's going to connect on your side, because that's what it did before. If you train your swing to be slow, your swing will be slow. I learned this in powerlifting, guys. Clem. I learned this in powerlifting, guys. How they trained us to be competitive powerlifters in our 30s and 40s was everything goes fast. Point A to point B, you move a small weight, a lightweight fast, and you do it with reps, explosive movements. Increased our bench, but it increased our explosive movements in our body. You want to train that same way when it comes to softball. Everything's got to be an explosive movement. If you're doing push-ups, you're doing boom, and you're pushing up from the ground very hard. That creates a white muscle fiber. What happens when you're swinging something very slow, right? And you'll just get up there and swing it really slow. You're creating dark muscle fiber. You're creating a little bit of strength, but you're still training your body to swing it slow. That's my theory on that. I go into so many videos on that YouTube channel talking about that shit too. I heard this the other day. Pitch safe. Someone had a big discussion about pitch safe, and I want to talk to you guys about pitch safe. I've had a pitch safe for 14 years right now. I've had pitch safe. I've had 2 of them. None of them broke. None of them cracked. None of them. I actually ordered some parts off one of them. The one that I have right now is the one with the aluminum rods on the side. Guys, there is nothing wrong with this pitch safe. A lot of you guys are complaining about the price, $325, $350, something like that. Gladly pay that. It pays for itself in years. I've had mine right now, the one that I had for probably around 8 years now, 7 years, when they just came out with the new improved one. I think I got the first one. I had that other one. I still have the other one. Billy has it. I still have the other pitch safe. So I heard this discussion about you guys talking about it's not worth the money. Bullshit, it's not worth the money. I spent the money on it. Guys, what does that come out a year? You know, I paid $325 for mine. And I still have it. First one was bought years ago, you know, 2011. And I still have it. It's still being used. If you pay something, it's not destroyed. Somebody actually said it has a wooden bottom. Yeah, it has a kind of like a wood bottom on it, but everything else is good on it. The bottom swells a little bit when it gets moisture. I've left mine out in the truck in a rainstorm. Nothing's been wrong with it. It doesn't peel, it doesn't swell. It swells up a little bit, but that makes it with I like it because that's where the handles, the legs on it actually stiffen up, and I don't have to be kicking it out all loose and stuff. Guys, I've never had to do anything. I've never had a net on mine. Mine is stored inside all the time, though. I never had to redo the net. I've had to redo the fiberglass poles on it because Billy and Bubba hit them all the time a long time ago. And Billy actually still has that pitch safe, so it's well worth the money. And I don't promote a lot of people. I don't promote a lot of product, but I do promote them. They're actually on the end of every damn review I do out there. So I will go to bat for them because I have one. I've had two of them, and they're still going. I got my girls one. Stacy has one, and they're using it up in Georgia right now. But yeah, and I'm only on the first page. I should be talking about bats right now. Ladies out there, don't swing brand new bats. Try to get them broke in from somebody. I know I'm sure you do, Clem. I was going to talk about that after Clem got through saying something on there. But what I see with a lot of the seniors out there that are 65, 60, 65, that has that diminishing bat speed. I keep approving, man. Invite. So, oh no, tell me it ain't true. No. I was running out of shit, man. I was on my second page. I was on my second page of doing stuff.
Dude, the camera does not like to connect on these things, I can tell you.
Remember the last time we did this? The same thing happened too.
Yeah, I can't. It was coming up. The camera won't connect. I think it's just a Facebook thing, probably.
Well, yeah, because I couldn't even find Leslie on there either, and I was looking for her. And then you push this little button on the bottom. You start looking through to see if you can find people, and I couldn't even find her or you. Oh yeah, but hold on, because I'm looking for you. But Christian comes off everything. Like Christian comes on here, and I can click on him, but I don't want him. But I can. Dude, it's just a pain in the ass, and I think we're thrown into the algorithms where they know this shit, and they don't want us to connect.
They don't want us on. Finally, on the 50th time of hitting join camera, it just popped up.
I was hitting join, and all of a sudden my screen separated. I'm like, oh, this might work. YouTube, I got YouTube going on up here, guys. YouTube, this is Jeff Kessler from Porch, and he was the one I was going to bring on tonight because he's got some new product that I did. Here's another thing too, and I know you guys, and just not you, a lot of you guys out there like for me to get the product in so you can showcase it on me talking about it, right? And although we haven't hit it, like it's going to happen with Mike, and it's going to happen with Carlos Vega, it's going to happen with all these other back companies who want to show the product. Is yours did not make the ship, I guess, not the ship, but it didn't make the plane to come over here. And I'd have had your new stuff sitting here in front of me today.
Man, but darn UPS, I'll tell you what, man, they're pretty reliable, but not all the time.
They're not all the time. I will say that too, man. You got to watch your stuff when you're sending it too. That's another thing with them. You said something, and before we talk about what you got coming up, is you said something on a podcast. It might have been with Matt Barnes. Whether it was Matt Barnes, You were
Maybe
talking about
Abdul. Maybe
yes,
Abdul.
yes, yeah. It was
Hmm.
from him, and they had you on there. And it's something that actually made sense to me, and I think this happens whenever you're looking for. A lot of people ask, why are these bat companies actually putting out bats like every other month, every other month? And you hit it the nail on the head when you said this. When you're looking for, you're not stagnant, right? So when you turn around and you
Yeah.
start looking for different ways to better what you already put out. Because I know how your mind thinks. I've talked to you for a long time personally and on the phone. Is you're constantly going, and trying to think about better ways. You're not satisfied with what you already have out. You want to make things better. So when you start thinking that way and you start experimenting with it and start putting a formula together, what happens is you develop different things and you go, holy crap, let's put this out, right? And you
Yeah, and
talked
this
about that.
Yeah, this is definitely what's going on at Shortport. So a lot of this stuff had been in the last 8 months in the making, and you're just seeing all the best finished products because with us making materials and the bats at a finished stage, we're only putting out what we do best. I promise you, we made a lot of stuff and developed some things that didn't work out. And in always trying to just put together new bats, new balls, new materials that when we get it right, we want to get those things out in the market. And we have a lot of bats coming out this year. I guess you've seen the U-Trip stuff just came out a week or two
Yeah,
ago.
and actually I tried getting one from you, or getting a couple from you, but you already sold out.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have more in stock tomorrow or the next day, but we sold out of our U-Trip whole line in 13 minutes
Okay.
online.
Here's the deal too, and I'm going to ask you this question too because
Hmm.
Stacy still plays girls ball, and she plays, I call them girls ball, kids ball with us, but call them girls ball with them, is that she still plays U-Trip. So she was looking at something that you can swing in U-Trip and transition because of the weight distribution right into a senior bat. Now, is that how you're going to load these bats, the same way you do load your senior bats? Because that's
Our our bats are very similar
See,
loaded, a
that's
matter of
that's a
fact.
good thing because you can actually swing a U-trip and BP when you're a senior and transition right on into a senior bat. That's something that's a big draw for a lot of the seniors out there because a lot of them do still play kids ball and they can transition. Because the question that I get for the last, I don't know, 12 years, 13 years was, what is the best bat that I can swing compared to a senior bat that I swing right now? What is the weight distribution in that? But if you're developing like you are, and you're developing a U-trip bat or an ASA bat, y'all know you're working on U-trip, but and then you have a short porch, let's say drip that has the same weight distribution numbers, the same barrel, 12-inch, 13-inch barrel, and you can transition right on into that. That's the plus for people that want to buy your product. You know what I mean?
And this is exactly what's happening with the platforms that we're building bats on. The barrel obviously is different. It's a USSSA certified barrel, but the platforms are built on the same weighting. The weighting, our weighting. I mean, the weighting we do, we're real happy with it. We think the way we load bats and our handles, we think it's spot on. And why would we change that in the U-Trip market, right?
Definitely. I think the way you're weighting is spot on too, because you're not messing too much with the handle weight. You're actually messing a
That's
little
right.
bit with the handle weight, but you're going on big in the end weight. And your theory is, I already know it. Well, your theory is if you can handle a 28 ounce, well, hell, I'm going to load that end weight a 3/4 ounce more on that end, and
Yeah.
make it where okay, if you can handle that 28 ounce, 27 ounce, I'm going to load that end big. And I think that's a plus because you're going to be able to swing that bat as fast as you swing the 27 or the 26, and you're going to get more distance, more performance on it because you are swinging it as fast. Because if you're going to go up that weight, you're going to handle that weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you should be able to handle it. And the guys, and we obviously deal with a lot of 50 major plus guys and 40 major plus guys, and they swing a lot of 28-ounce bats, and they can handle that bat and that mass. It helps them. It really helps them in the game. They don't want to go down in overall barrel
Wait,
weight.
okay. Here's the deal, and I want to explain this to everybody. If you built a USSSA bat and you have a 17 ounce end load with an 8/8 on the hands, right? And that bat is not a senior bat. So then when you got a Johnny Dykes and you have a 17 ounce end load with an 8/8 on the hands, you can actually rack your Johnny Dykes and swing that U-trip bat in BP and walk right into a tournament, taking your first BP in that morning that you're playing a tournament and not miss a beat. The problem with a lot of these
That's
bat
exactly right.
manufacturers, they don't do that. You know what I mean? So,
No,
so you're trying to get weight. So you're playing your first game, trying to get your timing down because of the muscle memory, because you're used to swinging that other bat that you swung, and it's a different bat because you want to crack your gamer. So you're going right into that. So I think it's a plus by you doing that, the way that you're doing it. Problem with a lot of bat companies that go from U-trip, I'm not going to call any bat companies out, but a lot of the newer guys that try to jump into the senior market that have been U-trip and been stars at U-trip, and they kind of get that weight distribution number wrong, because they think they got to mess with it. The reason is they're trying to put more weight on the handle to keep that, because they do got a high performing barrel with that senior bat, so they're trying not to stress it as much, right? So let's start adding weight to the hands. You're not going to do that, right?
no, we don't do that. And here's the thing. They're just trying to make the bat more durable, right, Dave? They're not trying to make it higher performing when they do that.
Yes.
I mean, this is a fact. This isn't just this. This isn't something that's questionable. So when you go up in handle weight, and like a lot of bats out there are, I mean, I've seen guys come up, and I'm not going to call bat companies out. They're swinging 28 ounce, and they have to go down to a 26 ounce in a short porch because they have insane handle weight. It's past what we would call a
Yeah.
balance bat, and they just can't handle a 28 in ours. And and that's why we have been careful about bringing out a 1 ounce bat. We are later this year, but what a 1 ounce short porch bat will feel like. It'll be real heavy for a lot of these senior guys, and we are going to drop that, but we just want to be conscious of letting players know, hey, this is going to be a bat that you may need to go down in weight if you're looking for a 1 ounce short porch
Definitely.
bat.
But I think that's what a lot of bat companies have not been doing, is when they go up in weight, it's almost like swinging beyond a balance bat. And what actually takes the stress off the barrel, and the bat does not perform as good. But one thing I will say about all of your senior bats, I can't vouch for the ones you got now coming to U-trip bats, but all of your senior bats, the weight distribution numbers are spot on. You're staying with that. You do flex a little bit when you're going down to a 25. And then the 26, the handle weight goes up a little bit, but you're putting big mass on the end. Not a big mass, but you know what I mean? That 3/4 ounce, maybe, in between a 1/2 ounce and 3/4 ounce bat, which stresses the barrel quite a bit. And that's what I like to see when I'm gauging, when I'm scaling bats, when I look at the numbers. Hell, I can scale a bat and I can tell you, okay, it's got a 10.5 handle weight. This barrel better be soft. This barrel's hard and raw, it's going to be kicked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could imagine you can pick up a bat and you can tell within really close what the hand weight and the barrel weight is. And, and that's the thing with these companies, other companies. And again, I don't want to call them out, but it doesn't matter what you put in the load if you raise that handle weight that high. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not going to get the performance by doing that. I just don't see how that would even be possible.
But I don't know, man. We can sit here and talk to her blue in the face when it comes to that, but you're 100% right. And you're one of those guys that I can talk to about that, and you get it, or you can talk to me about it, and I go, shit, I understand what you're doing with that, because you do go up in the handle weight, which a couple other bat companies that actually done. You do go up in the handle weight, and you expect that barrel to perform for you, and it does not. You're taking stress off the barrel when you go up in handle weight. Again, you guys don't do that. And I've checked all of your bats. I scaled all of your bats. And that's how come, okay, prime example, Clem, he was on here a minute ago. He actually has gotten his strength back. He's feeling good. So he went up, like those bats we ordered from you, 27 ounce, that's for him. And he just got one the other day that it's in his bag, and he don't let anybody swing it. It was the higher bat speed bat. That's
the Brewtown, right?
You? It's got like a 7. It's got almost an 18 ounce inload.
That's right.
He's killing it.
And
wait, I'm done with that review. We finished it. We finished that bat review on Tuesday. You can ask Clem. And I said, let's hit it. And it was only me, Clem, and Trey. And I said, I'm done with that review. I already know where I'm gonna put that bat. Because that bat smoked it. It was that one with the higher bat speed, the higher
Yep,
bat speed, the
correct.
DAVEV one.
Yeah, the Bruton bad. Matter of fact, I was in Ocala playing in the 50s, Ocala, Florida, this last weekend, and I seen David Ireland, who is on that bat. I'm sure he didn't hit every ball out the park, but every at bat I seen him for 2 days, he hit a home run opposite field with that bat. I'm curious to know if he actually didn't hit every ball he's seen out. So I didn't ask the guys, but it looked like he was just throwing his hands with that. He swings 27 and a half, just like you're talking
You
about with Clem, and it just gets
you
distance,
know
you know.
what you said, nail on the head. Clem hit a ball, and I have the video of it. He hit a ball out on his front foot, and we're hitting on baseball fields. A lot of guys don't understand. We're hitting on baseball fields.
Hmm.
330 to left, 350 in the power alley, and about 380 in center field. Clem threw his hands out and hit a ball into the trees, and I go, you hit that ball on your front foot leaning in. The one thing that you guys do that I like with a lot of, and I see it more with the bats that I've gotten within the last month from you, is the bat is very forgiving. I noticed that with the cola bat, the lower bat speed
Yeah,
bat,
the
the
soda
soda
pop.
pop. I've noticed that with that bat, that it's very, very forgiving. You can mishit it. Now, I said that about the original red bat. I don't think this is the same. I think it's a little better than the original wig popper, the red bat. That bat can get you in trouble. I said the same thing on video the other day, where I think that bat can get you in trouble too, because you're
Yeah,
just hitting
definitely.
shit way out of the strike zone and hitting with authority. A lot of bat companies don't develop bats like that. You know what I mean? There's only less than a handful that actually do that, that have that extra
But
gear for one, and then that forgiveness where you can hit anywhere on the barrel. You know.
well, I will say that on hit tracks, and I don't consider myself a low bat speed, but my record on our hit tracks for distance was with a soda pop. First swing I ever took with it, 444 feet, and I've never even come close to that on hit tracks, and it was with a 26-ounce soda pop. That we will be getting 2 weeks. We're reloading on the soda pops and the hot dogs as far as inventory because we sold out pretty quick on those, and everybody seemed to love them, and we're real thankful for that.
Let me go off. Let me go off in a different direction here about something. And I have Clem, and the video will be out in the morning on this one.
Hmm.
We hit on Tuesday, yesterday, and I wasn't a big fan of the Johnny Dykes bat. I was not. I couldn't get into it. I really couldn't. And I heard it was a softer barrel, but I couldn't feel
It is.
but I couldn't feel it, right? So wait till you see the video tomorrow. Clem started hitting it in the morning, and I'll bet we got a few swings on it. It's one that Trey had that he brought out, and we started hitting it yesterday morning, and then it started changing sounds on us. The whole video will be out later on, because you only pick this up on behind the scenes videos. So whenever Clem goes, that it's making a different sound for me, and it's making a different sound for me. And then Clem hit some balls where he squared them up, and they didn't do anything. And I'm like, okay, that barrel's starting to soften up. In other words,
Yeah, it
it
shows you.
does nothing for Clem, right? So all of a sudden, the last round, I want to do video on it, right? So I pick it up, and holy shit, it was like a totally different bat I've never swung before. And for the first
Well,
time out on that baseball field, I hit one into the top of the trees with that Johnny Dykes. And I talk about it. It's going to be a small
and
clip.
that's a shot.
It'll be out tomorrow. Yeah, it's a shot for me,
That,
you know.
that that's
And I
good.
haven't hit a ball there in a long time. I've hit them over the fence, or hit that foul pole with that soda pop. I've hit that foul pole, but this went 10 feet above the foul pole with the Johnny Dykes. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm a believer now. I love this bat. And I could just swing it so fluid, And I don't know if Clem got it there for me, because it did loosen up. And you can see I threw it to my bag. Like, I turned around and looked, and I threw it to my bag. It's in my bag, and I took it out. This is it right here. I just took it out the other
Yeah,
day, and that's the one that I hit it with. But that video will be out tomorrow, and I thought that was funny. And you can tell me, and after I turned the camera off, me and Trey were talking about it. And I said, luckily I didn't give up on that bat. You know, and that's why we
We
hit these bats. Another thing too, that's why we hit these bats so much, because we don't want to be that person that do something where we don't know yet because we haven't got it there yet. You know, so we'll like beating a dead horse. We'll sit there and just boom, 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 and say, okay, now we've got 800 swings on it. With time to make a decision. We didn't get that many on that bat, but it got it. Clem got it there, for us when him and Trey were hitting it before I ever actually grabbed it. And you can see the performance. The balls I hit before it hit against the fence, and I'm like, oh, and then boom, I hit that one, and it just, again, it's forgiving. It just took off and went, and then boom, hit the tree, hit the trees. I'm turning around looking like, you got to be kidding me. But that video will be out in the morning. I
we
thought that would be. I'll just give you a heads up.
that is funny because and I had a meeting last week with our whole staff and talking about bats, and obviously we put out a pretty good bat amount of bats since that drip. And a big part of that meeting is how we misrepresented the drip and why was the drip one of the best bats we had ever made, and yet it didn't sell it didn't sell as well as a lot of the other bats. And it's funny because I was kind of in my staff a little bit about where we failed to represent, from a marketing aspect on that bat, because we know that it should have been one of our top 3 or 4 sellers this year, and it really wasn't. I mean, we sold a good bit of them, but it didn't take off like I felt like it should, but that's on us. We didn't represent it very well.
The weight distribution numbers are there. You look at
Yeah,
16.9, the one I was swinging, 16.9 on the end. And I don't even, this is Trey's, I don't even have the numbers on it. But this bat is a 16.9 on the end, 8.8 on the hands, and this is a 26
that's
ounce.
right.
So yeah, I think the weight distribution numbers are there to get that performance on that barrel. But I love this bat. I mean, it would be my gamer tomorrow if I was swinging with it because I hit so good with it. And here's the deal, guys. It's not all about distance, okay? Distance helps out a little bit, but that's only a little bit of what we do when we're doing bat reviews. The consistency, which has a lot to do with barrel flex. You have barrel flex, weight distribution, handle flex, and then you have barrel flex. And then you got where that bat was put in the end. So, I mean, where that weight was put in the end of that barrel, that bat. And so that all comes into play when we're choosing this. So how many times did we get and hit line drives with it? Hit 5-6-0, hit up the middle, have control. A lot of bats out there, a lot of guys don't understand is, there's a lot of bats out there you can't get that with because the handle flex is different. Maybe it flexes on one side more than flexes on the other side. The one thing we get with your bats, with a couple other bat companies too, is we get that same consistency when we turn it in our hands. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Where you get the
that's
same
right.
flex points in that handle when you flip it around. It's not tighter on one side than it is on the other, which come to a miss hit. So that's how far we go into this shit. And you guys have a product here, in our opinion, and we all talk about this where Trey will sit there and go, and I think that's the way Trey is really a short porch guy. Although he's not biased to him, he does say shit and we put up with it, but he's that guy, but he still, he'll grab a bat that has that consistency and he'll go, okay, I like this bat because it has that consistency that he likes. So he'll hit the 6, he'll hit gappers, and he has so much control over it. That's what we look at too. It's just not how far we can hit the ball, our exit velocity speed. It's what everything, it's a whole formula. It's everything tied into one. And I think that's what you guys have with all these bats. Tell me about the bats that are coming out that I'm going to get tomorrow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start with the high bat speed and to talk about these bats. So they're the polar opposite of what we dropped with the spring training series, the team series. So the high bat speed was a one piece. The low bat speed was a one piece. So these are the opposite. So you got a 2-piece high bat speed, a 2-piece low bat speed, and a medium one piece where that bat was a
That's right, it
2-piece.
was.
Because believe it or not, a lot of guys, if they're 2-piece guys, they just swing 2 pieces. If they're 1 piece, they just swing 1 piece. I know you talk about it doesn't matter to you, and but this is reality. Most people don't switch. I know you mentioned before how hard it was for Trey to come off the 2 pieces to get into a 1
Yeah.
piece, right?
Well, a lot of people
so not every
are in their brain. I think therefore I am, right? So they think that
yeah.
I'm not going to a 1 piece because I have so much success with this 2 piece. I don't want to change them, although I do tell them I can swing a one. It all depends on performance. It all depends on how
That's
that
right.
bat feels in my hands. That's what I like. I do that. But I've swung a lot of bats. I've swung more bats than the average person out there. So I can
That's right.
distinguish between all of those. But you're right. There's those trays out there that really have to be convinced that, hey, you need to swing, get off of that bat, that two-piece bat, go swinging this bat. But you're right. A lot of guys like one piece. A lot of guys like two piece, and they will not change. Doesn't matter. I can sit there and talk to them till I'm blue in the face, but they're like, no, I'll stay with swinging mine. My two piece or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, we got and I'll show you right here since you don't have them yet. This is the high bat speed short porch bat, the Jaeger bomb right here, and it is a 13-inch two-piece balance bat, but it has some barrel weight in it, and it is made for people with quicker hands. And a lot of guys that we know around here on the 50 major plus and 40 major plus, believe it or not, are balanced guys, and they have been begging us for this bat. And so we're putting it in the market. It is a Ron Yeager signature. He is that guy who loves a two-piece balance bat, who has incredible quick hands, and it will get you distance. As you know, our balance bats are pretty well performing, and we have some barrel weight there. So it's not like just a base hit bat. It will drive the softball.
What you guys
And
have done with balance, and I noticed that when you guys came out with all these bats, is you're changing the market, and with a few other other bat companies are following suit on what you've started. Uh, what you are changing the market is you're not going with that high handle weight anymore. You're actually taking weight out of the end of the bat and going in a different direction, which actually makes that bat swing like a balanced bat, and have performance on it, not have that non-performing balanced bat that a lot of people get in their mind that, no, I'm not swinging a balanced bat because I can't get no performance on it, but can't get that distance on it. What you guys have done in the last couple of years is y'all are introducing the weight distribution numbers are different. Has that balanced feel, but it's got a little bit more end weight onto it, and you're still going to have that balanced feel, but you're going to get great performance on that bat.
yeah, and I'll tell you, speaking about our balance bat, I was in Ocala, and with us not being in the market that long over but for a year and a half or whatever, for the first time, we seen one of our bats being the most popular bat probably at that tournament. Ton of teams were in Ocala, and some half of lineups were swinging one particular bat, and it was our baby blue balance wig popper. It was seemed to be the most popular bat in Ocala, and I think anybody that was there will back that up. We heard so much about it and how it was performing, how easy it swung. Just tons of home runs with that bat. And, a lot of hitters were saying, hey, I was trying to move to another bat, but this bat, I just hit better. It raises my batting average, and I still can blow it out the park. And it was just good to see, because it was the first time I've ever seen our bat since we come into market where we had the most popular bat at any tournament, because it takes a while to get short porch bats out, when these other bat companies have been 10 years or whatever, right?
Yeah, because you got to get everybody on board on what you're doing. Yeah. Basically, you got to put a good product out. You got to get the word out. Then you got to convince people like, hey, you're here to stay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
So that's a good.
But yeah, I'm going to jump on to my medium bat speed, which is the Bluegrass, and that is a Rick Seal signature. He's from Kentucky, that's why. And it's our first ever metallic, as you can see, bat. And I'll tell you, it's a 12 3/4 half-ounce load. We really like this bat. The metallic paint is a little tougher than a flat paint. I think you know that. I think I've heard you talk about that, right? So a few more swings to break in than maybe a few of the other bats, but it didn't take long to get there. We really, really like it, and really like the paint job on it also. But that's something we'll be, telling customers, hey, this one you have to put a few extra cuts because of the shiny paint job, and people wouldn't realize how paint affects the bat, but I know you do, so I'm not getting that one over on you.
So I'm glad that you actually said it's going to take a little bit while to get there. you know, because
Yeah.
you're right. You have any kind of, the more paint you add on, the less performance you're going to get on the barrel, or the longer it's going to take to get that bat there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. And you know, and we stayed away. We've been in flat paints. You know, you've seen all our bats and how we've always did flat paints. And man, we wanted to do a metallic one so bad. So you know, with us developing different composites and things, we felt like we had a composite where it would get there and work with it. And it's a real strong product. And we're real happy about getting a metallic paint job bat out into the market for the first time.
Definitely. I was wondering. See, I didn't
And
know what you were going to introduce. You before you get to mine, lower bat speed guy. I didn't know what you were
yeah.
going to introduce or what was coming. I had no clue. Trey probably did, and again, Trey didn't tell me on what you guys have planned. But I didn't know that you were going to go with the opposite of what you had delivered to
Yeah.
us, to the one piece and two
Yeah.
piece. I never got that memo, I guess. But
Well, we were so inundated with us just getting into the U trip, but I promise you, I am very committed to staying in the senior softball. You know, I love senior softball, and the last thing I was going to do was drop a U trip bats kind of kind of get away from the U trip you know, I mean the senior side altogether. So,
yeah.
but
But I actually thought the thing
yeah,
that what you were going to talk about, like what was being delivered to me, was a U-Trip vest. That's what I thought you were delivering today. You know, but I guess it'll be here tomorrow. But the main thing was I didn't know that you were going from that. You know, because when I got those two one piece and that one two piece, I was like, okay, it's, you know, and Trey never said anything. So I'm glad you're going the other where I'm getting two piece and one piece, and then I have a two piece. Let me ask you this about the two piece, and I kind of see
yeah.
this, and I could better tell in this next batch that I'm going to get is, did you? You ain't gonna tell me that. The barrel, it swings heavy, right, on a two piece, and
Yeah,
and
for sure.
okay, let me tell you what I feel with the two piece that you sent us is the barrel feels heavy, and you might have put weight in that connection. Now, uh, or have that where that connection is a little heavier, and which actually adds more stress on the barrel, which equals performance. You know, you get better performance whenever you do that. So the way I'm weighing it, and if that two piece you sent me in that medium barrel size actually is like a 17.5 on the end, 17.4 on the end. So I'm
That's
going,
right.
okay, where is this weight coming from? Is it coming from the connection and the barrel, or just the end load? And I know you don't want to go into
Well,
that or don't want to talk about that, and I understand that part. But I'm going. It threw up not a red flag, but threw up like a little sign going, oh, he did something.
well, I'll tell you,
Did something
Dave,
different here.
I had to come in here and plug in. Evidently, it's been a long day, and my phone was low on juice. But yeah, the whole thing with the low bat speed is getting in there is making the barrel
Yeah.
collapse, right, and collapse more for the hitters. And that's definitely what we tried to do with this one, and found that it worked. It is my favorite bat that we've of these three that we launched, even though it's a lower bat speed. Um, it really performs. We did make it in the heavier weights. We didn't make the soda pop in the heavier weights. We went all the way up to a 28 ounce with this bat. The barrel really collapses. It gets there super quick. So, and you know, it's just one of them bats that we really worked hard on, and this next bat, we're super happy to put in the market. I'll tell you that.
I'm really interested in that one because I got on the soda pop. I got great. I have two of them. I have two of them
Mhm.
and they're in my bag. I didn't hit them as much as yesterday, but I'm going to hit them the next time we go out. We have one that's there. You know, I bet it's got 600 swings on it. And then we have the newer one. And I always, I always use Clem and Trey and, Bubba every once in a while to break those bats in for me to get them there quicker. And then I grab them and I'll actually see how they feel when they got, 100 swings on them. with everybody hitting.
For sure.
The one thing I am going to introduce, which I think will help a lot of people out too, is the older guys with that lower bat speed. I got way too many upper bat speed guys right now, so I'm going to kind of thin the herd a little bit and get more of the 65, 70-year-old guys in there that have that lower bat speed. And I think that's been the biggest with us, which actually going to benefit everybody else that's sending us bats. So we get, and what you're doing with the market right now is going to help me too, because I'm going to have that lower bat speed to introduce to a lot of 65-year-old guys that are going to be hitting with us with that lower bat speed. And I can introduce that bat to them. I just can't introduce that bat to a Clem or a Bubba because they're not going to tell me anything about that bat. You know what I mean? I got to get that low bat speed guys, and I'm not the only one, but I got to get other ones in there that have that low bat speed like I do that will get in there and actually give their opinion on those bats. So, but what you guys, the direction you're going, I think is great.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. So we get not just older guys because they can't take so much swings, but we use younger teenagers that are smaller, believe it or not, to take like 100 and 200 swings with the same swing speed. And so we can get numbers on it because for a 70-plus-year-old to take 100 or 200 swings is a lot to ask, right? Yeah. So that's something we've done, and we find that it works. And it's not hard to talk a 14-year-old kid in there to coming in there and taking all them swings, and if they're a real good baseball player, I promise you they can barrel it up and give us similar numbers.
Definitely. And I use my guys. I use my guys to break my bats in. I use my guys to break my ladies' bats in because I have a ladies' market now. They're doing a senior softball bat reviews.
Yeah.
I'll say, hey,
they're doing great.
Let's break these bats in for the girls and send them to them because I think that the women that can't break bats in. A lot of the bats that are actually being on the market right now, ladies cannot break them in. It might take them a year of doing it by themselves just to break a bat in. So they're not getting the true performance of a bat whenever they get a bat from another bat company. The one thing I like about what you're doing with a lot of these bats too, and I'll talk about them in a minute, is when you walk up, what you're doing, and you're actually taking the thought by putting this on it. You know what I mean? The high bat speed stuff. You guys.
That's right.
Yeah, that takes the when you have somebody selling your product that you don't have any control over, and they're asking questions, and they are listening to Short Porch or listening to Jeff talk, that's taking the guesswork out of what they have to buy when they walk up to a truck. Like you can have a truck that sells everything, and he's not familiar with Short Porch, which they should be. But if by chance you have someone out there, they can walk up there and say,
no, it happens, right? It really happens. So this is something, when you're selling, nationwide, everybody who has their hands on our product, they're not knowledgeable as they should be. I mean, there's just no way, right? There's not enough time in the day to get everybody, up on the same page, and a lot of moving parts. So, this does take the guesswork out of it. And for senior softball, I think it was really important. It's something we're going to keep on doing. It won't go away with Short Porch. And, you hit the nail on the head. We will try to tweak that and make even a better representation of it later this year with the bat speeds.
Definitely. A lot of ways going. I love what you're doing, Jeff, and I'd like to have you on every week because I think the actually feedback I got from the last time that you were on here is people gain knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the whole thing we're trying to do, right? You're trying to do, I'm trying to do, is we're trying to give just knowledge to help guys buy the right bat. You're trying to help everybody, right? I mean, you're trying to put the right bat in everybody's hands. And that's another reason why, people are like, y'all drop a lot of bats. Well, man, you can't make one bat for every player. There's no way. There's no such thing, So we're trying to make a bat that fits everybody because I promise you, when we made a high bat speed balance bat, people thought when we started talking about it, they're like, you're crazy. And I'm like, nah, there's a market for that. Why not have them? Why don't those guys have a bat for them?
So definitely. Y'all got one. I mean, that's Clem about it. Clem will tell you that bat is hot that you have out there. I mean, but definitely the way you guys are, what I like about what you're doing is you're impacting the senior market on what a lot of things that are better to help people. And I always like the people that have the companies that are doing it for the seniors that are out there. And that's just not a plug to get my channel watched or anything. I'm just saying you do it too. I mean, you out there that you're producing something with the little stickers. We're taking the guesswork, and seniors don't want to be, they just want to go out and play ball, and they want to pick a bat compared to their bat speed, and then you do it. You actually providing a bat, and so many trucks out there don't tell the truth just to sell a bat. So you're taking the guesswork for those seniors out of that, and I respect that quite a bit, because it actually helps. It helped me when I was picking up each bat, and I can tell the difference, Jeff, when I'm picking up Clem's bat with this bat. When I swing this bat, I'm throwing it going to side. I go, no. You know, I can't compress that wall. But I pick up a soda pop and I'm like, and I'm hitting them. So I see the difference, and I'm spreading the word for that, because I sit out there and I hit a lot of bats too. We all hit a lot of bats. You know, so yeah, I think what you're doing is a great thing here. I'd like to have you on at least once every other week or once a month to actually talk about.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and that's with us too. You know, we just want to, educate, everyone on what bat to get from Short Porch, and get the right bat in their hands. And, it's fun to talk to players and try to kind of, point them in the right direction, but we can't talk to all of them. And, this, like you said, this makes it easy. This takes all the guesswork out. And, we've got a lot of good stuff coming out. And I promise you, one thing Stacy and those girls you got will like is we will be dropping later on this year a strictly girls senior bat. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
I tell you what, not only will that be for the lower bat speed everywhere, the girls would have fun with it, because here's the deal. I don't think the women understand, and what I'm trying to push here is they get a hold of that bat and they start hitting it, and just look at the performance they're going to get out of that bat because of the flex in the barrel. Then you're going to start having guys that are just that place hitter that doesn't worry about hitting the ball out of the park. An older guy that just slap the ball, get that exit velo, going through that infield, hit them seeds, going through the infield. You're going to get those to jump on board to that bat too. So I can't wait.
It's just, why should that market, even though it's not a large market, why shouldn't they have a bat for them? And that's what we're trying to get to. We're trying to hit every little area in senior softball and make sure we have a bat for everybody. And because there's no one shoe doesn't fit everybody, right? There's just no way. And that's why we drop a lot of different bats, and that's why we resonate with a lot of different players across the country.
It's called evolving, Jeff, and you're evolving. In other words, it's not like it was 20 years ago. It's not like it was 14 years ago when I came along. There was one bat made for everybody,
Yeah,
so now you have.
That's crazy.
Yeah, now it's evolving. We're running on a different market here, and I'm glad you're on board. There's what you're starting here. And I talked to the guys about this, and they agree, is you're starting a trend that a lot of the bat companies are going to follow. So now that yours takes off, they're going to have a lot of the bat companies start catering to the girls out there with that soft through the barrel. You know what I mean? So I think that's a plus.
That's right.
Anytime that you can go out there and better yourself, I think that's a plus. So.
But it's understanding what the market needs is just a piece of it. You have to develop it. And, we have more fun developing stuff than you would even think. It's a really cool process. And, we don't mind working hard on it, because the end result is we get to put great finished products in the customer's hands.
You love doing it too.
Yeah, we
love it.
I
don't even have to ask you. I already know that, because for what you're doing,
well,
I love doing it.
I'm at senior softball tournaments, and I don't play very much. I've been at senior softball tournaments almost every weekend, and I really, really don't play that much. So I'm just out there really talking to people and just getting feedback every weekend. So it's it's a lot of fun.
When's your next tournament?
Yeah. So my next tournament I'm going to play in is actually with the younger guys, end of the month. My son turned 18, started playing softball, and I played one time with them in the U Trip. And again, it's funny you talked about that. So our bats are very similar weighted. So I'm able to pick up the U Trip bat, had no problem spraying the ball around, doing anything I wanted with it because it was similar to the bats that we already had. So just to play with him and his team, super enjoyed it. And my next tournament's actually going to be a U Trip event. The all our senior teams, I think I'm on every roster, but I don't play with them very much,
Yeah.
So I just when I'm available, you know how it
What
goes.
about
So.
Smokies?
The Smokies, so the 50 plus team, I do not think they're going to the Smokies. Whether I'll be there, I'm not sure. I think they're going to play a Matt Barnes
Yeah.
event in Panama City and Jacksonville instead. And and I'm pretty sure I'm saying this right. And his major plus division is unlimited home runs, and that appeals to those
Yeah.
guys because obviously they hit a lot of home runs.
Yeah. I
So
want to get, he
and
just chimed in. I can't believe he's not sleeping now. I want to get Matt Barnes on here next week. Try to get him. Not next week. I got somebody else coming on too, but maybe he can do a cameo every once in a while when it comes up.
that's right.
He just gets on there, talks for about 5 minutes, and then that's it. He's off. He's running off doing other stuff. But I can't believe he's
That's
not in
right.
bed already. I mean, that's the deal.
Well, I'm going to get to your low bat speed bat here, Dave. How about this? It's actually called Old School, and it's a Paul Gilligan signature, and it has a real cool paint job that I just love. And but this is it. This is the two piece. It's a 12 and a half inch barrel. Yeah, and man, I tell you, I'm almost hurting right now from swinging this bat too much this week. So it's been too much fun to hit. It gets there super quick, and like I said, we made it in the heavier sizes just because we were a little bummed we didn't have the soda pop in 27 and 28s to kind of play around with. So it's not one that's we would necessarily gamer, but they're a lot of fun, especially in the first 50 to 100 swings. Why higher bat speed guys can swing them because after that, you got to hand them off to the older
Same,
guys,
yeah,
right?
exactly what we do here. They'll hire
Yeah,
bat speed guys, get them there for me, or whoever
yeah,
else. I'm not going to call anybody out on lower bat speed, but definitely me. But I get them there, and then I come in later on and I start swinging them. There's no way I can swing that bat for, to get them there with my bat speed. I usually have the other guys break them in for me, and then I jump in there at the end when it got 200 swings. I usually give it 200 swings with them hitting spinner balls. And then I
yeah.
jump in there at the end and I'll start hitting it and give them my opinion on what I think it is. And then they're like pushed to the side. They get to do the higher bat speed guy. Now,
That's
the bats like,
right.
yeah, it's funny when you ought to come down and hit with us. When we start off in the morning, I've got 3 that they start on. I've got another row over here, about 4 that they got to go to the next round. And then the last round is the ones I already finished up on that we're going to do at the end. So it's kind of funny. And they get mad because they like to jump around and pick out the best bats they like to swing, Clem, and they'll jump into there. Clem was excited when he heard about your 28-ounce bats coming out. So he's all like chomping at the bit out of 28-ounce because his bat speed has gotten up there. So he's swinging a heavier bat now. And he found out that he's getting great performance, especially with the weight distribution that my girls are chiming in. Ask him this. Ask him that. So his bat speed's gotten up there so he can handle that bat speed and that big weight distribution numbers on it. And plus, if you're talking about weight distribution, when you're keeping your handle weight, when you're going at 28 at 8.8, 8.9, and then going to that big ounce in load, 17.5, 17.8, you're looking at some
Oh man,
great
it
traveling.
gets through the ball if you can swing
You
that,
talk about
right? Gets through it.
you talk about hitting the ball down and hard. Those balls
Oh
in the
man.
infield get through there fast with that.
Yeah,
With
we
that.
got some real big guys, and I tell you, I won't get in the infield with them hitting. I mean, there's just no way. I wouldn't play against them and get in the way. 115 mile an hour ground balls. I'm not trying to catch that. I'll move out of the way and they can have first base. And this is another reason why I think the Major Plus division, as far as unlimited, I don't mind it because playing infield, let me tell you, it gets scary with them
Oh,
guys,
definitely.
So,
Definitely. I don't miss it. I don't miss it at all because there are good
yeah,
athletes out there in that division.
yeah. Let them guys swing up, right? You get 7 runs an inning, let them swing up. So,
That ain't no
but
shit. It is safer. It is safer.
yeah,
See, I'd come out of retirement of pitching to go pay. If there's unlimited home runs, hell yeah, go ahead. There you go. Survival of the fittest
yeah,
thing.
and I'll tell you, over here in South Georgia, believe it or not, there's a lot of unlimited events, a lot of non-sanctioned stuff here. So we're kind of used to unlimited home runs at any level. So it's just kind of what they play here in South Georgia that you don't see a lot in the rest of the country. Uh, but yeah, man, I don't know about the Smokies, but Matt Barnes events, they'll be there. Our other couple short porch teams, I'm not quite sure about, but they play a lot of NSA up in North
Wow.
Carolina, and I know I think maybe all of them will be in Jacksonville at the new turf fields where Matt's having his tournament.
Sweet. Sweet. I think we're going to Matt's tournament at the end of the year. He's going to talk to Chino about that. And with the 55s major team. And we'll see how it goes there. I want to try to make the Smokies. I've been invited to go there, the home run hitting contest there. Do
Yes,
some
sir.
do some podcasts with a bunch of people, and I don't know if we can hook up and maybe do that. I do want at the tournaments that I do go to, I want to collaborate with you and everybody and get them at a round table and kind of talk about what we've been talking about and new stuff that's coming out because it'll be in the future before the end of the year. Or
Yeah,
if you're in Vegas at the end of the year, we can have a sit down because basically that's where I do a lot of my PR work is in Vegas. And I seen you there last
yeah,
year too. So
I'm gonna be there. So this year we're gonna be there. We kind of left a week early and drove straight through. I don't know if I told you the story. And me and Christian drove straight through to be there for the older guys. We weren't planning on going, and they come out for us, man. They come out and seen us. They were happy to pick up gear and bats, and us not planning to go for the older age groups to be frank was kind of stupid to begin with, and we're glad we jumped in the truck and went. And we're going to be there the whole time this year. We're going to be in Vegas from start to finish,
be
and
there for the
we won't
ladies
come
too.
home till it's over. Oh yeah, we'll be there for the
Yeah, I
whole
think I'm
thing.
going to be there
So
for the ladies because a lot of my girls are actually there playing too. I'm just there to represent and watch and maybe do some videotaping, but that's basically what I want to do. If I'm not playing in the 60s, I'll do some lot of video, stay there through the 60s and just make like a week or two out of it, and then watch the girls play at the end there.
yeah, it's going to be a good time. I can't wait to go. We had a blast last year, all of us, and we're looking forward. We're already starting to plan. Matter of fact, we're already starting to plan to. It's coming up, and we'll be dropping a couple bats just for Vegas, and it's going to be a lot of
You
fun.
need to, because you're going to be at Big League Dreams. You need to get one of them fields and reserve it for like an afternoon or something. And I'll get a group of guys go up there and demo some of your bats and get it on Facebook Live and do YouTube
Yeah,
Live and
definitely. We did last year. We just didn't plan it real well. So in all the hustle of it, we just kind of ran over there and
yeah,
hit, and it was just kind of first year we didn't quite know what to expect or what would be going on, but this year it'll be better planned. And I'll tell you, there's nothing like hitting in Vegas. That ball flies. If you haven't hit in Vegas, you need to go do it,
definitely.
because it's incredible. The humidity we have here in southern Georgia is, it knocks down the ball, and hitting in Vegas was, like I said, you're a whole different kind of hitter. If you haven't been there before, I would recommend going.
It's a good place to showcase your product or your talent.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
or the
that's
other.
right.
It's good
That's
to do
right.
both of them. Well, hell, I can out now. You got me all interested in what's coming tomorrow because I didn't know. I thought it was you tripping. Now they hear the senior
No,
test. And
no.
Clem wants to hit on
I
Friday. So Clem's going to be, I guarantee you, Clem's going to come on here and go, hey, now we need to hit on Friday because the 28, the ones you're going to have is you gotta have a 28. You didn't send a 28, I know, but you're gonna have the 28s, and he wants to see how they feel. Two-piece model too. That's nothing about Clem too. It doesn't bother him what he's gonna swing, but Trey might go
Yeah.
back to a two-piece if you guys put out that talking about that good two-piece you got coming too. So
Yeah.
Trey's a,
Yeah. And they, you know, I talked to Trey, and that's what I didn't talk to Trey. So when I text you and Trey, I both text both of y'all that I was sending the new bat models. He didn't know either. He said, "You trip bats," and I'm like, "No, man, these are seniors." He had no idea, but we'd been so wrapped up in the U trip stuff that we hadn't really talked to anybody, and it's kind of just poor communication on our part. But yeah, we're launching them Friday online, and along with. Headbanger, Smash It Sports, Phantom, and it's gonna be the next thing for us, and we're super excited about it.
what I would do then, like I do with all the new product, I got some Onyx stuff here too that I'm gonna put out. But when we do Facebook Live, the next time we do Facebook Live, I'll put them out there and kind of talk about them, kind of like what I do all the time when I get these new bats coming in, in the next 2 months, because everybody else this
Yeah,
time of year is putting new product out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Getting ready for the worlds that are coming up, and then but Jeff, I like what you're doing. I always have. I liked your stuff, and nothing but good things to say about where you guys are going. That's another thing too. And I don't think I can say just keep at it, brother. Keep
yeah,
at
man.
it.
You, thank you, Dave. I'll come on anytime you'd like to chat it up, man. I appreciate it, and I love watching what you guys do out there. It's a lot of fun, and just stay in touch, my
Hey,
man.
we're going to do that visit. They talk about it every day. The girls are
Yeah,
excited about doing it, and we're going to come up there and have a weekend out of it. Maybe come up on a Friday morning, stay till Sunday night, and we'll fly in whichever one, Savannah or George, Atlanta, and then maybe
hmm
drive down, whichever one's better, and then basically do a lot of video. Basically, do a tour and
yeah.
do some
So
hitting and do some
you
video.
Yeah, we'll get over in here and get everybody in here on our hit tracks, and we'll line up a stadium to hit in also, and it'll be a lot of fun, man. We're super excited. I know Leslie and Trey has talked about it a few times, and they both were super excited about it
Trey asks
also.
me every day about it. When are we going?
You know,
Set some dates. The girls are even asking me. They're going to drive in. So yeah, they've got a 3-hour drive that they're going to drive in. It's bringing like 3 or 4 girls that are part of
yeah,
that senior softball bat review ladies out of Georgia, and Lisa might even show up too. So when she's more toward the East Coast, but yeah, she might show up too with her husband, who does. They do a lot of hitting too. So we might have a full crew there. You know.
yeah, that'll be a good time. Can't wait, my man. And like I said, look forward to it. And you guys need anything, just give us a call, man. We're right here. We're always here late,
Thanks,
so
brother.
we'll be around.
Thanks, brother.
All right, thank you,
No,
man.
thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Bye. Wow. Dude, this is a 2-hour podcast. I still got people engaged. 36, 44, 47 up here. Let me get through these bats first that I have coming out. That I have coming up. This is the Proton. This is the Proton bat, guys. Let me tell you about this bat. We've hit this bat the other day. Charlie Mueller is his gamer. This is his gamer bat. It's the Smith bat. It's not like the Proton from last year. This is a different Proton. I think it's a little bit better than a Proton for last year. And you guys know what I thought about that Proton for last year. I thought the bat that was, those two bats, that one-piece bat, were both the same bat but painted a different color. That's just me talking about that one-piece bat from last year. This is a totally different monster here. I love this bat. Flex points are spot on. Clem even said, great bat. This is it right here. This is the Smith. That review will be out next time we play again, and then I'll let you guys know. I'm going to kind of grab bats and kind of go through them pretty fast here because I'm working on 2 hours already. The Brewtown. Clem, talk about this bat. Clem loves this bat right here. He went up an ounce, 27.5, I think is what you have, Clem. And this bat is freaking smoking hot. This is for that higher bat speed. And you guys can see it, high bat speed. I like what he does when he does that to them bats. That's that higher bat speed. that bat skin out of here. Guys heard me talk about this. They call it the sleeper bat. I don't understand why. A little bit softer barrel. It's not going to be soft. 27.5 on that bat Clem was swinging the other day. This is the short porch. It's the drip. It's the Johnny Dykes, guys. Watch the video in the morning of me swinging this bat. I have that low bat speed, so watch that video tomorrow of me swinging that bat right there. Guys, that review will be up next week too. This review will be out. You know, every bat that I think I'm picking up right here, every bat that I pick up here, I think is freaking smoking hot. Murray Williams' favorite bat. This is the Dudley Mastery bat, Mike Hamilton bat, one-piece bat, 12-inch barrel. It's got that tackified grip on it. Got a great handle on it. Not thin, but it's just a standard handle on it. Guys, flex points on this bat is great. Distribution weight is great. 17.1, 8.4 on the hands. A little bit lower in the hand weight than a lot of the other Dudleys that are out there right now. Harder barrel. It's going to go in that harder barrel. You guys who have soft barrel don't get this bat. High performing bat, guys, at higher bat speed. I'm going to put these right over there. That's, y'all can't see that one. Wig popper. This bat is different. Like I was talking to Jeff earlier about, they come up, when they start tweaking bats, they come out with something that they tweak a little bit. They got some performance out of it, and then boom, they put it out. This is the Wig popper gray. This bat is a hot bat too. It's a one-piece bat. Well, this is Trey's bat that he actually let us use. It's a 26-ounce weight distribution. Numbers of 16.8 on the end, 8.8 on the hands. He always loads the hands in the high 8s. And if you go into a lower weight, 26-ounce, 25-ounce, you know, he's going to take a little bit of weight out of the hands to keep the weight on the end. Actually helps that barrel flex. Gray is fire too. You definitely right on that one. One of my favorites, guys. This is the slower bat speed. It actually says lower bat speed bat. This is a one-piece. This is the Soda Pop. It's a 12-inch barrel Soda Pop right here. I love this bat. Barrel does loosen up on this bat. It is hot. Clem cannot swing that bat. He's got too high of a bat speed. Suncoast. This is the Jimmy Larkin right here. Love this bat. We hit it yesterday. Got great performance on this bat. Wait till the review to come out on this bat before you go out and buy one. I'm going to talk about how the weight distribution numbers are on this bat and what do I think about them. You've got a 26.5. You got a, it says 27-ounce is what I'm thinking, because I always get them higher with Suncoast. I always go up higher in the weight because they add weight to the hands. So you've got 16.4 on the end, and you got 9.9 on the hands. And I'll talk about that. I'm almost done with this review. This is the 13. This is the Suncoast 13-inch barrel. You got 16.5 on the end, and you got 10 on the hands. And guys, these are supposed to be end-loaded bats, and you've got 10 hand weight. Great barrel. Yes, definitely great barrel on those bats. Clem, this bat, man, right here, sounds like a shotgun going off. It took a while, 150 swings to get it there, but this is the two-piece. It's got a royal blue. The girls, the ladies like this. Barrel softens up a little bit. It's a 25-ounce, 16.9 on the end, 8.8 on the hands. Carlos always loads his hands light on the hand weight. It's a two-piece, and don't get pissed if I say this wrong. I think it's got a 12-inch barrel. No, it's a 13.5. I think it's a 13.5-inch barrel or a 13-inch barrel. It's one of those longer barrels on this bat. Love this bat. Clem killing it with his bat the other day. Two-piece short porch, Sin City. This is the new two-piece they have out there right now. Guys, I will say this, it's a 16.9 on the end, 8.9 on the hands. This is a 26-ounce. I will say this about this bat. Barrel softens up, Flex is not, this is not like the Sin City from last year. This is a different bat. I thought the Sin City from last year flexed too much. This has got a little bit. Okay, blue one has a 13-inch barrel. The purple one, which I'm fixing to show you in a minute, is a 13.5. Thank you, Clem. So this is the Sin City. This is a new one. Different kind of swinging, different kind of swing. The handle is still flexy, but not as flexy as the last one that they had from last year. Guys, barrel's a little different. I think it's a little softer. That's just me. When it gets there, you're going to hear that barrel make like a really good sound. You're going to love the barrel on this. Yeah, Chino, you took both of them. Yeah, Chino, you did. You took them both. I talked about you the other day about that too, where we can't finish reviews when you're around. You keep taking Onyx and shit. Oh, this is the other one we had. This is the Short Porch 2-piece hot dog. Guys, this is that medium bat speed. We're going to be hitting this bat again next week, Facebook Live, get a few more swings. And we'll let you know what this bat, how this bat forms. We like this bat too. It's a 2-piece. It's got a 12.75 inch barrel. Now, I didn't have these the other day. I'm going to talk about them a little bit. And you have, which I think what Onyx did here, with this bat, and is Jeremy Lewis. That's who it is, Jeremy Lewis. And what he has here is he's got something different. It's got that thin handle. I love, that's a real thin handle. I love the thin handle. I love the way this bat performs. This is a 26 ounce. This is a 26 ounce, okay? These bats, they don't go to anybody from now on because I could have done this review in one day. The barrel makes a different sound. It's not like this barrel, right? Two different barrels here. It's not like that barrel. Barrel makes a different sound. 13.5 inch barrel. On a 13.5 inch barrel, you would think you wouldn't get the performance that we're getting on this bat. This bat, when you're hitting the ball with it, when it gets about 150 swings on it, 200 swings, 250, durability is, I bet we got on that other bat. I bet we got, the girls actually got one of the lighter ones on this, but they're going to start swinging it next week. But what we got was great distance. Ball stays in there a lot longer. You got that big explosion sound. What I like about what these guys are doing, and this is a 26 ounce. The numbers are 16.8 on the end, and you got 8.5 on the hands. It's I'm talking about Onyx numbers here. It's more like a half ounce in load, okay? The way that is loaded. This is a 27 ounce. This is a 27 ounce. I just got these in today. This is a 17.4 on the end, 8.8 on the hands. So this is Onyx's half ounce in load. Great performance on these bats, guys. Great performance. Great flex in the handle. It's like a shotgun. Those bats are very, very hot. Bubba played in a tournament, and he actually called me about this bat. Bubba played in a tournament about, new ones. Bubba played in a tournament with this bat about a week ago, and Chino would actually talk about him. I think he made one out in the tournament. He was like 9 for 10 or something like. Some of the furthest balls he hit were with this bat right here. So Bubba calls me up and say, "Can you get me one? You know, that's what I want to swing." And Bubba's just playing these little tournaments with the guys. You know, probably some weekday, playing during a weekday on league, and that's it. But that's the bat that he actually asked me to get from Carlos, and that's one of the ones we have right there that's going to Bubba, not Chino. Chino, you're on restriction. You're on restriction, Chino. You don't get no more. You can't finish a review because of you. All right, guys, I'm done. 2 hours, guys. Over 2 hours. That's got to be a record. Oh. Next week, again, we're going to do Facebook Live. And because of the last Facebook Live, I'm going to try Facebook Live on YouTube this next time and see how that goes. So, guys, get over there and join YouTube. That way you're not missing anything, and you guys can go over there. If I'm doing Facebook Live, it'll be on YouTube. I want to see how clear it can get, because the last Facebook I did on Facebook, it was all grainy. So I'm going to try to do YouTube Live and see if I can't get that out of there, because it looks like crap. and it's a waste of sitting out there doing that. Guys, again, next next Wednesday, I have another guy that's going to come up here and talk. And he's a part of a back company, and he's going to basically I'm going to prick his brain, talk about new product that's coming out, and then talk about what direction they're going into too. But this is basically what I want to do. I want to get a lot of, not necessarily the pros out here doing it, a lot of guys that are affiliated with the new stuff that's coming out. Alan Tanner, I want to get a hold of him and talk about his product that's coming out too, because he does work with Worth, away from everybody else, and got to pick his brain about what he has coming up. And I know he has some bats released today. A few other bat companies. I know Mikan has released some bats. Next month we have the new Mario Foster bats that are supposed to be out, or the old Mario Foster bats that's supposed to be out. So we'll see on what's coming out. The Johnny Bailey, he got out there and talked a little bit today. I did see him chime in here in a minute, a while ago, and just basically, but the bats that are coming, a lot of the, which I love. Here's another too. I'll talk about it more next week when I have Worth guy coming, the Mikan guy coming on here and talking, and basically talk about the direction that Mikan has taken a lot of those guys in the last year that is not even close to what they were doing before that. I think Mikan has hit another tier, and along with that has become Worth, and then Easton is finally jumping on board, because in my opinion, I don't give a shit what you say. In my opinion, Mario Foster has developed the best Easton bat, one-piece bat out there ever made. And I don't know who developed it. Eastonville, I don't give a shit. I'm just saying Mario Foster is the best Easton ever made. And a lot of you guys were saying, well, they've always had good bats. You just took longer to break it in. Well, that changes everything about it. If it takes you longer to break it in, you won't get the performance you would get on that Mario Foster. Mario Foster is better than any Easton ever put out there on a one piece. Brett Helmer will be out. That will be out in the next couple of words. I'm watching Stacy just caught in again, but I thought she was out already. But the next couple of days that Helmer will be out, and then a lot of other reviews that I got coming up that I got rid of that'll be out in the next couple of days, guys. I've got video that I'm cutting up. It takes me 3-4 hours a night to cut up these videos, but y'all don't give a shit about that. But I'm working on it. I got a lot of other shit coming out. I'm kind of this weekend my team's playing up in Grapevine, and then I'm staying home. So I'm going to do a lot of video cutting up this weekend, or I'll have a lot of product out for you guys to watch, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm out of here.